Hey, it's Gilbert here. So I made progress on the engine bay, but there's still a couple things that really stand out that I want to address. Windshield washer reservoir. It's an eyesore. And yeah, I'm probably not going to mess with the master cylinder, seeing how important that is to be able to actually see the level. I am going to deal with this and leave a spot where I can see the level out here. I'll show you how. And the dipstick handle, that needs to be dealt with. So first steps in removing this, these are 10 mil, a nut here, bolt here, so you want to remove those. Those removed, you got the line. I'm sure this is air conditioning. You got to pull that out, slide it under, and over here that'll allow you to lift this, which is easier with two hands, but you have the line from the reservoir is clipped right here, and that wire clips in. That's what activates the motor to spray it. So we're gonna have to unclip that, then we'll bring it up enough where we can disconnect the hose that goes to the bottom, and yes, at that point it may want to start dumping. So that just unclips easily enough. Oops, there's another one on the bottom. Really? It got refilled when I had it at the dealer for another alignment. Hey, I now got a scuffed up GoPro. So this one's a pain in the butt, but it's hard to get to is the problem. And you basically just have to press it down, press it in, and it'll come out. And now right here we're gonna pull that out, and it's gonna want to leak, so I've got to use both hands, one to hold it and one to cover the hole. When you pull this out, when you unhook it, put your fingers here and push. Don't pull it. If you pull it, you're actually stretching this and shrinking the hole. If you put your fingers here and push, you're compressing it and opening the hole so it'll come out easier. And hopefully it won't leak when we go to put it back together. I have it draining. Theoretically, it'll drain quicker that way. You could also dump it out the top. So Mazda uses that, gram, that weight strategy on the Miatas, and that's great. It's great. But here's one place they don't. That's a lot of stinking washer fluid. It's drained. I ended up dumping it. We're gonna wipe the outside all off with like Dawn dishwashing soap and water. Get that all nice and clean. As clean as we can get it reasonably. Once everything is dried, you want to tape off some of this that you don't want the Plasti dip on. Yes, Plasti dip will peel off most stuff, but again, this is how I do it. That tape doesn't really want to stick to that dipstick, the metal part, where it gets oily. Wonder why. But it sticks to itself. I really don't want to get a whole lot on the bottom here because I don't want to change the level, even though the Plasti dip will be pretty thin, as in it's not going to change it much. When I spray it, I'm going to try to avoid the bottom, I think. So this is how I taped mine up. You could probably just actually tape it along the bottom, the crease, and do the top, and that would get it for the most part. But I'm going to try doing all of it that I can, and that includes this side is the visible side, kind of, because it's kind of, you know, this is the front of the car and this is the side. So this is the side that you see the most. I have put a piece of tape here so that after I Plasti dip it, I can pull that piece of tape off, and I will have a window to show me the level. Apparently, which one? This one must be a sensor for low fluid level there. Okay, sure, why not? It's that important. Well, my wife would say it is, but I taped everything around the pump, and both the connections are completely taped off. I taped this off because I wasn't sure it fit back in the hole with Plasti dip on it. But again, this is what I'm doing. Do what's best for you. So with Plasti dip, be sure you read the instructions on the ones you got. This, the Permatex Performix, not Permatex, Performix Plasti dip. Wet layer first, and then at least 30 minutes between. The Duplicolor Custom Wrap says a thin starter layer, and then 5 minutes between. So very different. I'm gonna go ahead and start the dipstick one. This is Plasti dip. It is so easy to use. Follow the instructions. And very little, if any, on the bottom. Now I gotta set it somewhere. Right here is a little breather hole, because when the pump is pulling the liquid out, air has to be able to get in, and this is how it gets in. That's why yours leaks. Put this, it's right here, so you should have it sitting with this as the highest spot on the tank. So I've debated whether I want to just leave this alone or how I want to deal with it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and Plasti dip it. I don't know if it's gonna really stay on that. We'll see. The good part about Plasti dip is if it doesn't, I can just pull it off. Yes, I was pointing out the weight gram strategy, and I'm adding weight, sorry. I won't put all the liquid back in. If you do this well enough, you won't have to paint it from the bottom. Now we wait 30 minutes. At least 30 minutes per the instructions. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty. Or your Plasti dip in this case. Need another coat on the dipstick handle. Same process. You need to get the Plasti dip thick enough so that it will peel. If it's not thick enough, it will not peel off. I mean, you can scrub it off, but it won't peel off. Make sure you get enough in the areas that'll be visible. We're back for the third coat. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? It's been 30 minutes for me. All right, so this I'm gonna pick up this time. Tricky part is going to be there, although no one will see it. I'll rub that out when after it's dried. All right, for those keeping track at home, what is this? 4, I think. This is probably going to be the last coat for everything except for the lid. It's got all the way around there, around the bend. Now we want to get the ring part. So the thicker you get it, the longer it takes to dry, and you can actually make it thick as long as it doesn't run. That's where you're going to run into your problems. But this is looking good. What was that? No drips, no runs, no errors? Anyone actually remember that? Didn't really need any more on the bottom. Okay. So this is dry, so I can set it. I'm going to actually set it on the paint there. Now for a fourth and hopefully final coat. All right, so I got a little lucky. This little corner of the tape is hanging off the edge. So it's not wanting to peel. So maybe I didn't wait long enough, I'm not sure. I've not had that problem before. Feels dry, but maybe it's not. So if you have to cut like I am, just make sure you're only cutting the top layer, the Plastidip. Don't cut into the plastic. It's been another hour or so. Now this under here shouldn't be any issue pulling the tape off. So that's how it's supposed to work, right there. That was much better. So I just didn't wait long enough. I'll have to make sure the cap is going to cover. Oh. So now you know. You want to get this right up to the bottom edge so you're not going to see it. There's one other tip. The nozzle on these cans actually rotates. That little black part of it, I can turn it. Generally, you want the pattern to be vertical. However, something like this, I can hold the can sideways, but it's not necessarily going to pick it up. I'm going to turn the nozzle sideways. So holding the knob, the nozzle, I put a small flat head screwdriver here and turned it. Don't have it facing anything. You don't want spray, just in case. But now it's more of a horizontal. So when I spray here, I'm just getting where I want it. Now granted, I could have put the piece on its side or something, but all right, now that we've, hopefully that was in the frame. Now that we've played on the merry-go-round, we'll let this coat dry. So what's the odds that this will allow me to put it on without ruining it? So now it is quite tight. When you put this on, make sure you got it where it needs to be. So now we're ready to put this thing back in. Slide the, and of course you probably can't see a thing. Remember how it went? If not, you can watch this video. How did it go? Alright, camera. Please don't fall off. Again. Got the hose connected. Now we got to get the brown plug. Yeah. There's just no way to show that. It's hard enough to do it. Okay. Now we'll get the gray plug on the side. Make sure these are dry. Again, this is how I do it. And don't ruin yours trying to do what I did. Move the line back in place. And don't drop these. They'll get caught on a panel and you'll have to jack it up and take panels off. Ask me how I know. Snug. Snug. Those are in. Everything's in. Now we just gotta add the fluid. Gotta use the funnel just to hold the top open. Can you see the indicator strip? How much it's filling? I should have weighed this bottle. There. Okay. So tell me that that doesn't look better. It doesn't stand out near as much. The oil dipstick is not showing. I think that looks much better. So hope that was helpful. If so, please like, subscribe, comment, and good luck with yours.